This clip, we will be discussing the sales commission modules. First, let's talk about setting up a new salesperson and counselor and their defaults. There are two sales types. There's the counselor or a salesperson. In this case, I have a funeral home set up as my counselor or my third-party reseller. Their default commission is set up at 5%, meaning this is the commission on every contract unless I specifically do a split and a change that they would get on that contract. The status, whether they're active or inactive. Once someone becomes inactive and you create a new contract, they will no longer show up on your list of available counselors or salespersons. The posting rules. The posting rules are pretty important because they give you a lot of power and flexibility. You can select the posting rules per each counselor or each salesperson. Now, before we talk about this, I want to give you just some brief information. In maintenance, which is another section, I have preset what the percentage is of the deposit, as well as what percentage of each principal payment goes towards commission. I have preset that percentage to be 50% of the deposit, and 50% of any principal payment would go towards commission. Now, let's talk about these posting rules. Post commission from deposit and payments. This means that whatever percentage that I set up for the deposit and for the principal payment, that this individual, this funeral home, would get a percentage of the deposit or the payment. Now, post commission from payments only means they would not get any percent of the deposit whatsoever. They only get a percentage from each payment that is received. Post full commission after contract is paid in full means no commission will be posted to their account until the contract is paid in full. Post full commission after deposit is received. That means that you're doing an override and you are paying the full commission on this contract to this counselor and or salesperson. It doesn't matter if the deposit is enough to cover their commission or not. You're doing an override and you're saying they get full commission up front. Sales director. A sales director, you can have multiple sales directors or none at all. If you have no sales director, you just simply leave this blank. Sales directors can receive an override commission. Now, I'd like to also make a comment about the posting. Posting of commission simply means the amount is posted to their account. When you run the sales commissions report, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or whenever you pay that person commission, the posted amount, along with the contract number, will appear in their total commission list to be paid. Now let's create a new record. But before I do, I want to show you one that I've already created. I've created Sandra Roberts as a salesperson. And notice I have her post full commission after contract is paid in full. Now let's create a new one. Let's do a salesperson. Let's do Kate Roberts. Let's give her 10%. She's active. And she's going to post commission from deposit and payments. And we're going to make Doug the sales director. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a contract and let's talk about the commissions here. Now, you can see here a funeral home is set as the counselor. Over here, see there's the plus symbol. If I wanted to add a split, I would simply go in there and I would add the split. But since I don't, it's just with this funeral home, I'll leave it alone. But if you notice here, I already have a split set on this contract with the salesperson. Sandra gets 5% and she's sharing it with Jeff at 5%. So let's look at how that looks. Let's go into contract details. And I can see here's my sales commission, Sandra Roberts, $21.50. Jeff got $21.50 and the funeral home got $21.50. But notice that Sandra still has a balance of $21.50, even though the funeral home and Jeff have a balance of $6.50. So if we go in the commission history, the posting history, we'll see that from the deposit, which if you look down here, the deposit was $60. Remember, I have it set up that 50% of the deposit goes towards any commission that is due. So that would be $30. So $30 was split between Jeff and the funeral home. Sandra was not paid any commission because remember, Sandra was set up that she did not receive commission until the contract is paid in full. Now, let's talk about the overrides. Now, if you do any overrides like a full commission is paid at the beginning, then it will not do any redistribution, which I'll talk about in a minute. If it does any overrides that it's paid at the end or the beginning, the people who are left, they will try to do an even split. Like you saw the even split of the $30 split into two for Jeff in the funeral home. Now the splits, if you just do the defaults, a four-way split, the percentage is 25% for each. A three-way split, when the amount is not even, it will do 34% for one and 33% for the other two. A two-way split is 50% each. Now you also have the ability to allow the system to set a preset for these splits. For example, you can say that when there is a four-way split, the counselor each receives 10% of the commission amount and the salesperson would receive 40%. Another example would be a three-way split between two counselors and a salesperson. You can set the percentages for the counselor to be 25% each, and the salesperson receives 50%. Also, these set percentages can be set per each business. You may have different rules, for the monument business that you have for, say, the building products business. This all adds another level of flexibility. Now let's create a new contract. Let's do a split between funeral homes. Let's go in, let's say Johnny gets 3% and he's going to share it with Tammy at 2%. Okay, and we're going to make, say, Jeff Roberts salesperson. Let me go ahead and help if I select the right thing. Let's do that. We're going to say yes, do an autofill. Okay, just be patient with me for a minute as I fill all this information in. Okay, let's do some financing. And let's do $60 payment. Okay, now before I post it, I want you to see how this is set up. Okay, so we've got Jeff receiving $45, Johnny's going to get $13.50, and Tammy's going to get $9. Now I want to talk about another level of flexibility we've written into the commission module, and this is called the redistribution of commission. You can set it to true or false. I have redistribution set to true. Now, remember my deposit is only $60, and I have set that only 50% goes towards the commission. 50% would be $30, which would be $10 each. But notice Tammy only needs $9. Since redistribution is set to true, then that dollar will be distributed evenly between the other remaining commission amounts. So let's post the deposit. Let me show you how that worked. Let's go back in here and let's look at the history. Here you can see Tammy got paid her full $9, and that $1 was split between Johnny and Jeff. I'm trying to write this commission module to be flexible enough to meet simple commission structures as well as complex commission structures. I would value your input and suggestions for improvement. I can be reached at ReposeMemorialManager@gmail.com. That's all one word. And my name again is Sandra Roberts. Thank you.